Men all over the world are rejoicing after hearing this on The View today.
You didn't get here by yourself, man. You can't do this without us. Yeah. And if we don't let you, you don't get any.
Woo! Yeah! Whoopi is promising celibacy. Something that I think is one of the biggest white pill evers, as there's a lot of white pills going around here that we specifically want to talk about in this particular broadcast. All of this as there is some breaking news happening right now in the making of this video that I am staying on top of course, the shutting down of Infowars, which looks like was just officially purchased by The Onion. Yeah, what's really going on here? Why did they do it? As it looks like there's going to be an emergency injunction and court cases happening right now in the making of this video that might actually overturn it, since there's, of course, some underhanded things at play here. But before getting into that particular story, let's celebrate and rejoice as, of course, Donald Trump's pick for his future administration is sending shockwaves all throughout Washington, D.C. and the establishment, as he has decided to pick individuals like Tulsi Gabbard to be his new DNI representative, and, of course, Matt Gaetz, that will be serving as the future Attorney General of the United States if he gets, of course, approved by the Senate. Will he? That's a larger question here, as a lot of people are up in arms as John Bolton's mustache almost flipped off of his face as he was on Meet the Press saying this.
President-elect Trump intends to nominate Matt Gaetz to run the Department of Justice. What was your immediate reaction when you heard that?
Well, it must be the worst nomination for a cabinet position in American history. I think this is something that falls well outside the scope of deference that should be given to a president in nominating members of his senior team. Gaetz is not only totally incompetent for this job, he doesn't have the character. He is a person of moral turpitude. And notwithstanding how difficult it may be politically, this is a nomination the Republican Party should oppose.
As a lot of people are saying, well, that's exactly why he's perfect for the job here, as, of course, Matt Gaetz has, I think, been a representative of the American people a lot more than the majority of Congress. He is one of the most libertarian members of Congress, and most importantly, he knows where all the corruption is in Washington, D.C. He knows where the skeletons are buried. As, of course, previously on the Benny Johnson show, he literally came out and talked about a foreign operation, government-sponsored events surrounding the Jeffrey Epstein saga that, according to him and the general public who is still paying attention and has a pulse, still doesn't know the true story about. As it's fair to say, a lot of the people on the list, a lot of the clients that were never prosecuted for, of course, committing illegal actions against children, those individuals are probably some of the biggest individuals up in arms about Matt Gaetz being the future Attorney General of the United States. As John Bolton now is urging the FBI to probe Tulsi Gabbard and Matt Gaetz, as he calls them a serious threat against what? Himself and all the other corrupted individuals that did really awful things. To whom? The people that went to Epstein's Island? As Geraldo Rivera literally said that he threw up in his own mouth as he found out that Matt Gaetz is going to be the new Attorney General of the United States.
That when I heard that Matt Gaetz was picked to be Attorney General, I threw up in my mouth. I think.
And my official response to that is good. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely incredible to see. As, of course, these meltdowns, John Bolton still can't stop doing it, is doing a literal media tour describing just how shocked, angry, and bewildered he is at the news here, which I think is one of the best endorsements of Matt Gaetz.
Well, I thought it was the worst cabinet-level appointment in history until they then heard about the Matt Gaetz appointment.
And when lunatics like that angry, I'm happy. And, of course, for transparency's sake, I know Matt Gaetz. I think he's a great guy. I think he has great character. And so far, all the conversations I had with him, next level stuff. And I think he's perfect for the position, as, of course, his former frenemy, former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, is telling people that he will not get confirmed by the Senate, as, of course, we will still be awaiting Senate confirmation. As it does look like nature is healing in the process right now, as ABC News is reportedly searching for conservatives to be a balance on The View, as, of course, it has, as you've seen from the beginning of this broadcast, spewed into utter political delusion. as the ladies on The View literally regurgitate the same kind of PR establishment talking points to each other and then gobble it back down. Something that, of course, doesn't make for entertaining television, as, of course, the corporate media is absolutely failing. The numbers of viewers on CNN, MSNBC, NBC, Fox News is all going down dramatically, not just in the United States, but also places like the United Kingdom, as Elon Musk just retweeted how Nigel Farage's GB News show is officially now getting more views than both Sky News and the British Broadcasting Network. As there is some kind of renaissance, is some kind of larger ideological evolution happening right now, as people are saying, hey, you know, all those people that kind of fearmonger and lie to us and tell us that the sky isn't blue, you know, maybe we should go outside and see if it's blue. Oh, it is. Wow. Okay. As Eva Longoria has officially now left the United States after she stumped for Kamala Harris, and now is describing the United States as some kind of dystopian U.S. state. This as Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk are now officially a part of a new government agency that will be getting rid of government waste. Something that, of course, Ron Paul is playing an active role in, as he announced on his show that he had meetings with the two already and their larger plans of cutting nearly $2 trillion from the U.S. federal government, which sounds absolutely incredible.
We have visited with both Musk and Ramaswamy, and they're very, very dedicated, and I think they truly believe that they can cut a couple $1 trillion off the budget. But I don't think, my problem with that is that will awaken a lot of people. You can't cut $2 trillion or, you know, without annoying a couple people.
Yep, as of course a lot of people will be annoyed here, but tough luck, Buttercup, as of course this is the new norm, as of course there are major things to celebrate. As it's important to note here that we probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for one man, and one man that is absolutely under attack right now. And that man is, of course, Alex Jones. As today, just a couple of moments ago, we got the news that the satirical publication The Onion bought Infowars and turned it off. Right now, if you try to go to Infowars.com, it tells you that the site is unavailable till further notice. Same with Band.video. As Alex Jones was in his studio, then had to, of course, in the making of this video, move to a new studio, as he is now reporting that there were agents of the state inside of his old office. There's an emergency court injunction being held right now, as of course we're also finding out that The Onion wasn't actually the highest bidder in this larger auction to buy Infowars, which makes people kind of question what's really going on here. Are there some kind of unfair shenanigans here, as there were individuals like Roger Stone that I personally know that were working with a lot of big backers and a lot of important people that were trying to buy Infowars for Alex Jones for him to continue to do the work that he's doing with his current studio, with his current staff, with his current equipment. As now a judge in Texas will be deciding the future of Infowars and whether or not if this purchase actually goes through or not. As NBC News is now officially reporting that this is happening here, as The Onion officially released a statement on their website saying, here's why we decided to buy Infowars. An article by Bryce P. Tedder, as he announced that today we celebrate a new addition to the global Tedder-Durham LLC family of brands, as they issued a satirical statement making fun of Infowars, announcing that this is a, quote, well-deserved victory for multinational elites the world over. As now, there's some larger questions here, as of course Alex owes over $1 billion in alleged restitution, and if the people a part of this whole process aren't picking the highest bidder here, they're not doing it for monetary reasons, they're doing it for other reasons, as of course a lot of this is obviously pretty politically motivated, and in my opinion, a larger case of legal lawfare. As now the dissolution of all of his assets, of his studio, of his staff, of his cameras, will make it very difficult for Alex Jones to continue his operation, as of course it looks like he will continue on anyway. As Alex Jones just started a new website, alexjones.network, which of course hasn't been officially gobbled up by The Onion, as he also released this statement just earlier a couple moments ago.
It is 7:50 right now. I'm about to upload this to X. I just got word 15 minutes ago that my lawyers and folks met with the U.S. trustee over our bankruptcy this morning, and they said they're shutting us down even without a court order. This morning, the Connecticut Democrats with the Onion newspaper bought us. They asked, did they outbid? They said, well, it was competitive. So they changed all the bidding rules, made it secret 2 days ago. I had a bad feeling I told you that. And just like they tried to shut us down back in late May without a court order, they're supposed to have a court order. There's going to be injunctions filed. I'm about to go live.
As you kind of got to think about this from an investment point of view, as the quartering says, the Onion buying Infowars to shut it down is almost impossible to believe. What a terrible investment to own the Chuds. The only smart money was to buy it and run it. They achieved nothing but 1 day of X fame for a long past relevant company. Alex Jones won't be stopped. As Tim Pool says, they basically bought equipment on wholesale. Alex will just make something else, or someone will hire him. Anyone can launch Alex Jones live and hire him on contract. You will not stop him. And I think that's a fair assessment to make here, as of course he is absolutely resilient. He's been through a lot. He has set the path for a lot of independent media. He has been on air for 30 plus years. And as someone who has known him personally and has been on air for 20 plus years, I am very grateful that he showed us the path. He is a leader. He is the tip of the spear. He is the man that has brought us here. And we have to feel incredibly grateful. And I hope whatever other websites or social media accounts he goes to, we go follow him and we go check out his work. And of course, be a part of this larger cultural kind of evolution that we're seeing right now. That wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for him going on public access and then setting the path for, of course, online internet video like he did. Video that, of course, revolutionized and changed everything. If you look at the main person who went up against the corporate media, it is him. And I don't know what the Onion is going to try to achieve here, but it's fair to say that wherever Alex goes, his audience will go with him. I don't think a lot of people are going to be going to Banned.that video or Infowars.com in order to see the satirical failed publication that is kind of irrelevant now. As of course, the last time I heard of them was about 4 years ago, maybe. I haven't seen one of their headlines in an extremely long time. I haven't heard about them in an extremely long time. They used to be very relevant. They used to be sort of funny, too. As a lot of their articles, I don't want to just be hating on these people, but I just don't understand it. For me, this doesn't make any kind of larger sense here, and it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to be doing from a kind of comedic way when it comes to, of course, all of the assets that they just potentially bought off. Now, will that sale actually go through? Well, we're going to see with this emergency court injunction and these court hearings that now are, of course, questioning about how they weren't the largest bidder here and that the person who decided to allow them to do this wasn't caring about the restitution that was supposed to be, of course, afforded to the families here that aren't getting the best bang for their buck here. Why aren't they? Could there be something else at play here? Probably. As it's fair to say that what the Onion is going to be doing is just trying to, of course, continue to make fun of and attack Alex Jones and all the work that he has done for the past 30 years. And to me, that's nothing to make fun of. But of course, essentially, they're kind of punching down in this larger kind of action, especially after, there was a court proceeding that took away almost everything from him. Yeah, there's nothing funny about hitting a guy when he's down already. And I don't care how they're going to try to kind of spin this in the eyes of the general public. It's just going to look cruel. As other personalities on Infowars like Owen Schroyer have just announced that they are just beginning to fight here, as of course there's a lot of other people involved here whose lives are being ruined, jobs are being taken away, as they're making their own stand here. And it is fair to say that whenever they try to take one of us out, it creates the Streisand effect and it multiplies our efforts. And to me, looking back at this in a few months or years from now, I think things are going to go a lot differently than the establishment thinks it's going to go for Alex Jones and all the great people that he has behind him at that particular studio, as Alex has now a lot of friends. One of his friends is going to be the future Attorney General of the United States, as there's also a lot of other powerful people that Alex is friends with that are pissed at this, including individuals like Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, and, of course, the inner circle of Donald Trump. As it's fair to say here that even though Infowars was struck down today, that the fight is not over, and it's pretty fair to say that Alex is going to come back bigger and stronger with a lot of support behind him that I think, in my opinion, is going to right this wrong. What do you think is going to happen here? As, of course, I'm thinking about now my own legal battles and efforts. As, of course, we just created SaveLukeNow.com. As we're dealing with somewhat larger financial pressures here. And instead of just asking for a handout, we're doing limited edition runs on some really funny signs that we can't even show you here that I will personally sign for you. And of course, hats. We only ordered 100 of these hats. They're selling out really fast. So there's only 100 of them. We're not going to make any more. I'm personally signing them and mailing them to people that will help us, of course, get a lawyer and fight the cases that we are currently involved in that are also very overwhelming and very difficult to deal with. But hey, this is the type of fight that we're involved in. I definitely greatly appreciate your support. We are fundraising. If you could donate, that would be great. If you want to really help us out, sign up to lookunfiltered.com. You get a lot of really cool things. We started to do double the members show. So this week, there are 6 exclusive members-only videos that are out there just for members of lookunfiltered.com. As, of course, we have started to ask our podcast guests, hey, what is your most controversial opinion? The conversations have been amazing, have been fascinating, and we talked to some really awesome people last night. Caitlin Sinclair, Mark Lobliner. We just had Nick Sorter in here. We just had, of course, Simon Gudick in here. The conversation's absolutely incredible. And to learn about all those people's controversial opinions, sign up right now to lookunfiltered.com. And, of course, that helps us and supports us in the long run so we could continue our operation, keep going, and, of course, not be defeated by the people that are bankrupting us. So, yeah, I feel for Alex Jones. We're dealing with our own smaller miniature legal fight right now. It's not fun to deal with, but your support, greatly appreciated now more than ever. Support Alex. Support us on SaveLukeNow.com. And truly, I love you guys. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys supporting us, being here with us. And that's why I always end every broadcast by saying, I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on YouTube.com/WeAreChange.